In LA this week,
some real-life Santa's helpers are helping to ensure that 1,000 kids in need will receive free bikes during Christmas. I'm Gil Reyes with this holiday giveaway from City Council President Herb Wesson's office.
a big donation will help kids find academic success in the classroom, and how the money will also help a family directly affected by the threat of deportation. The story coming up.
I'm Anna Marcos. Will show you how La Troca is teaching these kids how to grow and eat healthy food.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Congress's plan to overhaul the American tax system could adversely affect Los Angeles. Mayor Eric Garcetti objects to strategies that he says mainly benefit the rich. Gil Reyes has more.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, as amended, is passed.
With Senate Republicans passing their own version of a tax overhaul bill, the next move is to iron out differences with the House version and create one unified tax plan for the president's approval.
We are pursuing tax cuts and reform that create jobs.
Both plans call for slashing the corporate tax rate from the current 35% to 20%.
What we have instead working on in Washington isn't even a tax plan, it's a tax scam.
At Metro headquarters in downtown, Democratic leaders say only the wealthiest Americans would benefit in the long run. They also call the plan a job killer. The House version would remove private activity bonds. Locally, that's money to renovate and ease traffic at LA International Airport.
We would see jobs in this city and in this state be reduced. Give you one example, at LAX, without the use of private activity bonds, we would pay $500 to $550 million more to make that renovation of LAX happen, which means we're not going to be able to afford to do as much.
Mayor Eric Garcetti also predicts increases to the cost of college education and health care. Now, the tax plans do reduce both corporate and individual taxes, but in the Senate version, individual tax cuts expire at the end of 2025. As for corporations,
the tax breaks for the corporations are permanent. For us, we're being sold a bill of goods. It's temporary. There's no guarantee that they even continue. We see so many bad things in this, so many un-American things.
The president wants to approve a final, unified congressional tax plan by the end of this year. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
We think that that's enough of a critical mass.
The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates families earning more than $100,000 a year would benefit most. Well, there's phone hotlines, counselors, and mental health clinics. But now there's a new way for nimble-fingered smartphone users to get free counseling and help if life stresses them out. Mayor Eric Garcetti helps unveil the new crisis text line. Anna Marcos reports.
A cry for help for those in crisis is about to hit the digital age. How about texting for help? The new crisis text line has officially opened for business in LA, but its test phase has already reached 75,000 Angelenos with 360 active interventions.
That's 360 families that would be having a much different holiday season if we did not exist. 360 families where a young person had the ideation, the plans, the means, and the timing to commit harm to themselves or someone else.
By texting 741-741, people can get a trained volunteer to text with them about their problems. Problems like depression, family issues, sexual assault, and suicidal thoughts.
In the United States, the second leading cause of death for children between the age of 10 and 14 is suicide. 10 to 14 years old.
One volunteer remembers a texter whose life she may have saved.
The texter sent a message along the lines of, I think you should know that before I texted in tonight, I had actually spent the day planning my funeral, and I was going to end my life tomorrow. But instead, I'm going to rip up those plans. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend some time writing poetry like we talked about, and then I'm going to speak to my parents about what's going on for me.
The city is partnering with the Crisis Text Line to spread the word through libraries, schools, and city agencies. The line is open to everyone, but the vast majority of users are young people. Supporters say it has helped them reach a whole new demographic of people in crisis.
If you talk to any young person these days, they're not going to call a phone line. They're not going to leave you a voicemail. They're not going to talk to you on the phone. It really is about texting, and there's a certain freedom about that.
These are people who, like Mayor Garcetti said, are not going to use the telephone. And so we really are their lifeline.
Crisis Text Line is a national support line. And by the way, they are always looking for volunteers. For more information, visit crisistextline.org/volunteer. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
And again, the number to text if you should ever need help is 741-741. The line is open 24/7. While the internet has changed our lives in many ways, where would you be without your smartphone or social media? But now the internet will take a giant leap into the future. Anna Marcos attends a panel at USC and explains how the Internet of Things will connect our lives, government, and businesses like never before.
You're looking at some of the sharpest LA minds in engineering, business, and computer science working to develop a computer tool to make LA a smarter city.
So you can imagine a smart home or a smart building in which the sensors are helping the building understand who is occupying which rooms in the building, and so making sure you're providing the right temperature levels, lighting.
This panel was put together by USC, the City of LA, and our own ITA, the Information Technology Agency, as these innovators work to bring the Internet of Things, or IoT, into more areas of our everyday lives.
It's not a when do we arrive, it's always evolving, always iterating, always improving.
So just what is this Internet of Things? Well, a thing in this system can be a person with a heart monitor implant, even an animal with a microchip, a streetlight or building with a sensor in it. And these bright minds are developing the tool to connect them all electronically, the i3 Intelligent IoT Integrator.
It's at its core, a software tool that we're building that will allow very different vendors and users to connect to each other.
So like a common language?
Yes.
So you think traffic is bad in LA? Well, it would be a lot worse without this technology, which is already in use at thousands of intersections. Sensors allow the city's Department of Transportation to adjust the traffic lights according to the flow of traffic. And city leaders plan to expand the technology even further in the future.
Currently today, ambulances turn on their sirens, they drive down the street, and they ask everyone to pull over. In LA traffic, that could be difficult sometimes. The Internet of Things allows sensors and GPS on ambulances to be able to turn street lights green, so an ambulance can very quickly get to someone who may be having a heart attack.
Robots, just one more thing in this Internet of Things.
We're working and investing a lot in technologies such as artificial intelligence.
Call it a big network of internets all working together, sharing information, hopefully to make our lives better. And you thought the Jetsons were futuristic. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
LA city leaders have many other uses planned for this technology, including managing energy use, garbage collection, and detecting leaks in underground pipes. Well, busier than Santa's workshop are the offices of City Council President Herb Wesson this season, receiving and also assembling more than 1,000 bikes for kids in time for Christmas. Gil Reyes shows us some busy but jolly volunteers.
Who says Santa's helpers aren't real? Meet Nick Hill, working hard and without pay to help assemble bicycles, a lot of them, for kids in need in South Los Angeles.
It's Christmas time, and, the idea that I might be making some kids' Christmas, make my Christmas.
We're at the district offices of City Council President Herb Wesson. He's organized what's believed to be LA's biggest bicycle giveaway.
We're going to be giving out 1,000 quality bikes, and we're excited, and I need your help.
On Facebook, Council President Wesson requested volunteers to help put the parts together. Parts for these huffy, leisure mountain street bikes. Some of the bicycles are tyke-sized. Others are big enough for adults to ride. Volunteers answered the call. A lot of work to do, just days before the big giveaway.
Like Santa's helpers, these volunteers are working down to the wire to get these bikes ready for Christmas. Not an easy task, because before they look like this, they look like this. Inside 1,000 boxes that need to be opened up. Then the bikes have to be taken out so they can be assembled.
Having to assemble everything, even though it's a big feat, is bringing a lot of our community together and a lot of volunteers together. And so I feel like even the assembly process is making everyone closer.
It's a joy.
Volunteer Fletcher Wiley has been fixing bicycles since he was a kid.
So this is an extension of your childhood, giving back to the children of today.
Yes, it is, and I get to build a bike again. So
and it's fun, right?
It is. Especially when you know what the end results are. To see the smile on the kids' face as they get the bikes, that's what you want to see.
We'll show you how the kids react on the upcoming holiday edition of LA This Week. From the district offices of Council President Herb Wesson, I'm Gil Reyes.
The kids will also be receiving free helmets and bike locks. The LAPD, neighborhood councils, the LA Bicycle Coalition, and the LA Chargers also came out to help. Now tune in next week when we'll show you what happened during the giveaway. While this next family's been through a lot, the dad was nearly deported just as his teenage daughters were getting ready for the LA Marathon. As Gil Reyes reports, a generous donation is going to a group that inspired the family to pull through.
This arrest saddened and frightened LA's immigrant community. Undocumented worker Romulo Avelico Gonzalez arrested by federal agents in February after dropping off his daughter at school in Lincoln Heights. Another daughter, the one you heard crying in the video, recorded the episode on her cell phone.
I was moved by that incident. We began to collaborate with the school and to do all that we could from the council office to make sure that Mr. Romulo was released.
Councilman Gil Cedillo stood with Avelico Gonzalez, who's returned to his community after spending 6 months in federal custody. For now, the courts have granted a reprieve from deportation. Councilman Cedillo also presented a $2,500 check to a group close to Avelico Gonzalez. It's called Students Run LA. They help kids like his daughters complete the LA Marathon and also mentor them socially and academically.
Why this organization? Well, the girls were actually training for the LA Marathon before their dad was arrested earlier this year. The dad had led them through several hours of grueling training sessions, but ended up missing the marathon altogether because of his arrest.
The dad says his grieving girls had wanted to drop out of the race, but he encouraged them to go on without him. Daughter Fatima finished the marathon at 6 hours and 48 minutes. It was her first. Students Run LA says nearly every one of their mentored kids finish, despite obstacles at home or school.
And the same is our graduation rate for our seniors, and more than 95% of our seniors each year have plans for post-secondary education.
Sports plays such a fundamental role in my development personally, setting goals, teamwork, working with others.
And facing life's challenges with bravery. In Lincoln Heights, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The donation helped fund training, uniforms, bus transportation, and entry fees for the marathon runners. While often people living in LA's urban core and their kids have few options for healthy food and healthy living. But the city's La Plaza de Cultura, a group that promotes Hispanic culture, has a solution in the form of a truck. Anna Marcos joins us from the Gratz Primary Center with the Healthy Scoop. Anna.
Yana, this mobile classroom called La Troca has an important lesson for the kids today: how to make, eat, and grow your own healthy food.
There it goes, So I want you to keep going.
Nothing like cranking out a little spaghetti squash to start the day on a healthy note. The kids at the Para los Niños Gratz Primary Center are getting tips on healthy eating and meal preparation.
Take 2 tomatoes. There you go, sweetie. 2 tomatoes. Yes.
This is the work of La Plaza de Cultura y Artes and its mobile truck classroom, La Troca, which goes around schools teaching kids about their Mexican cultural roots while weaving in healthy eats and even a little English-Spanish native foods vocabulary.
Avocados, aguacates, squash, calabazas. Because there's food deserts out there in the community where they don't have the opportunity to buy fresh fruit, buy fresh vegetables.
It's so funny to see them like, I don't want to eat vegetables, that's what we're doing today, I'm not into that at all, and then watch their faces like putting these giant noodles into their face. They're so excited.
How is it?
Because, of course, there's the eating part. There's gardening lessons, too, and theater games? Yup, the kids get to impersonate a plant growing. Then they get their hands dirty as they mix soil and plant their own seed in a little dirt cup. Seeds like...
Squash! You want to grow squash? Where are you going to grow it? Do you have a garden? Or a window? What do you have?
I have a window.
You really going to grow it? Yeah?
Because I have a little squash in here, and it's growing. Grow, grow, grow.
The kids do sound pretty excited about it. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The La Troca mobile education classroom is co-sponsored with Para los Niños and the PepsiCo Foundation. Well, LA may have welcomed the Olympics to town twice before in 1984 and 1932, but this time it's getting a double whammy. Anna Marcos shows us how the Paralympics are also in the running.
LA will have more than a decade to prepare for its Olympic dream. And it's not just the 2028 Olympic Games it's hosting.
While LA has hosted 2 Olympic Games, we have never had the honor of hosting the Paralympic Games.
You can bet that I'll be there in the front row with my daughter, cheering them on.
Yep, LA will be hosting 2 Olympics in 2028. The regular Olympics and the Paralympics, which cater to athletes with impaired muscular and movement ability or missing limbs. The Paralympic Games have grown in size and popularity over the years and usually run right after the Olympics. The UCLA campus will be among the hosts.
We're going to be the Olympic Village. We're going to be a training venue for many of the athletes, and we will support some of the competitions here.
This campus is a welcoming environment for all people, including some of the finest disabled athletes in the world. UCLA is fully ADA-compliant campus.
And LA City leaders plan to elevate the Paralympics into something never seen before.
All of us live life full of impediments, but the sport world teaches us that it is when we dig deep inside our souls and our spirits that we can accomplish anything, that we can be equals on the playing field, that it isn't always about whether we win or lose, it's how we compete.
It's a huge opportunity for us to have 10 years and a half to work with you guys and think out of the box. Come with new approaches.
We get a feeling we're in for a true Olympian experience and that the games themselves will take home the gold. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The first official Paralympic Games kicked off in Rome in 1960. Well, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce has teamed up with Hollywood's biggest producers and movie moguls for the annual State of the Entertainment Industry event. As Anna Marcos shows us, there's a lot to cheer about.
Welcome to Hollywood, you have arrived.
Yes, you see the movie marquees, the celebrity tour buses with their gawking tourists, the stars on the Walk of Fame, and there's no doubt you're in Tinseltown. And this movie capital of the world plans to stay that way, even after a few hard years due to runaway production. California's AB 1839, a law passed in 2015 that provides production tax credits, has led more TV and movie productions to come running back. That's one of the big stories at the yearly State of the Entertainment Industry Conference in Hollywood.
The stages are running at capacity, and there's talk of constructing new stages, which is huge for our economy. Jobs, jobs, jobs. I always say it's all about jobs.
And in 2017, there was a 27% increase in locally honored television shows because so many good shows came back.
California Senate Leader Kevin De Leon was a lead negotiator for the law.
We made it very clear that no one, and I mean no one, is going to outcompete the great state of California.
And there's no place on earth that can replace Hollywood as the world's entertainment capital. Hollywood is here to stay.
But the movie industry is going through other changes as well.
Wonder Woman taught us that, no surprise, a woman can carry a superhero movie. It also taught us that, no surprise, a woman can direct a superhero movie.
One big change that's brought about a whole new economy is streaming content or entertainment on demand. As more and more audiences want to pay for what they want to watch, when they want to watch it, and how they want to watch it, often on their mobile device.
This, of course, is very big right now, of course, with the rise of the Netflix and Hulus in the world that are challenging traditional historic ways that viewers have viewed content.
One panel discussion noted the growing options for tailoring specific shows to specific viewers.
Something that you may want to watch at 6 a.m. might be related to exercise, and you might want something shown differently to you in terms of the set of choices at 6 a.m. than you might want at 7 p.m. on a Thursday evening.
It's an optimistic message, one organizers want to share with the public, that a thriving entertainment industry helps not just film and TV productions, but all of us Angelenos and Californians as well. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The executive producer of Modern Family, Steve Levitin, received a Commitment to California award at the event for his efforts to keep his productions in California. A section of South LA, once devoid of holiday decor, is now making festive lights a Christmas tradition. As Gil Reyes shows us, the bright lights on Broadway return for a second season.
Holiday lights are back to brighten up several blocks of Broadway Boulevard in South Los Angeles. And this is the centerpiece.
This Christmas tree just brings so much unity within our neighborhood.
When you drive down Broadway and see the spirit of Christmas, it encourages you. Bring joy to your heart.
The nearly 40-foot tree now illuminates South LA's Century Palms neighborhood, an area represented by Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson.
The community inspired it. We have these great islands in the middle of Broadway Avenue. They just beg for holiday lights. So today we have a tree and lights for blocks and blocks north and south of here.
11-year-old Derek Davis hopes the displays inspire peace.
Maybe it could get somebody to meet other people, say if they like watching the tree, and then people come over here and they start talking, and then they become friends.
And we invite the entire city of Los Angeles to come celebrate this tree with us here on Broadway and Century.
In South Los Angeles, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
At night, the holiday lights set Broadway aglow from 93rd to 111th Street. While City Council takes steps to improve how it handles sexual harassment complaints, have an emergency? Now you can text a message to 911. And another smart streetlight installation helps LA become the city of the future. All these stories in Citybeat. Looking to develop a more centralized process to handle sexual harassment complaints by municipal employees, the LA City Council voted to explore the creation of a compliant hotline and website while also re-examining current policies. Councilwoman Nuri Martinez, who introduced the motion along with Councilman Paul Krikorian, said that for too long women have had to deal with issues of an unpleasant comment, a look, a gesture, or something that has made them feel uncomfortable. After hearing members of the personnel department testify that harassment complaints can sometimes be handled within a department or by managers, and that the city does not fully track all complaints, Krikorian said he hoped the motion would lead to a more centralized process. As of December 1st, mobile users in the city of LA now have the ability to send text messages to 911, giving hearing and speech-impaired residents or those in situations where it is too dangerous to dial 911 a potentially life-saving option. With LA going live, nearly all mobile users throughout LA County will be covered by the technology. Call if you can, text if you can't is the slogan developed by the Federal Communications Commission as the new technology makes its debut. The City of LA and the LAPD will play an integral role in this new technology that has the potential to impact millions of Angelenos. Crews from the Los Angeles Department of Public Works Bureau of Street Lighting installed the second smart node in the city across from City Hall. The program involves the installation of streetlight poles that also include compartments for small cell communication equipment and antennas, cameras, electric vehicle charging, USB charging ports, power outlets, and speakers. Officials say the technology makes streets safer while improving the wireless network for smartphones in urban areas. They also say the smart node has the potential to do so much more.
We envision in the future we will have sensors attached in some of those compartments where you can have CO2 sensors, you can have temperature sensors, traffic count sensors, earthquake detection, maybe gunshot detection sensors. So sensors is the future.
A popular holiday story comes alive on stage. Go winter tubing during Snow Day LA and enjoy some of the most dazzling holiday displays right from your car. All this in this week's Things to Do. If Christmas is near, it's time for Too Many Tamales, based on a story by Gary Soto. It's a tender holiday story about children's mischief, traditions, and family love during a holiday gathering. Too Many Tamales tells the story of Maria, who is certain she's lost her mother's wedding ring after secretly trying it on while helping her prepare the dough for the tamales. Her only solution to the problem is to convince her cousin they must eat all the tamales in a desperate attempt to find the lost jewel in the dough. Puppets, dance, songs, and tons of tamales burst through the walls of the theater whenever Too Many Tamales hits the stage, December 15th through the 18th at La Plaza de la Raza. For more, visit bfatheater.org. Enjoy some winter tubing during Snow Day LA. Hop on a tube and fly through twinkling light archways, decorated trees, and falling snow. Enjoy food trucks, drinks, giant singing snowmen, and tubing lanes of varying lengths and thrill levels to satisfy every age group. So go ahead and take a ride on Saturday, December 16th at the Old Lodge at 2002 Stadium Way. For more, visit snowdayla.com. Head on over to Candy Can Lane in Woodland Hills to watch dazzling holiday decorations twinkle and light up the night sky. Every year, families descend upon the enchanted Village of Lights to enjoy the magical displays on the 4 streets bordered by Oxnard, Martha, Corbin, and Winnetka. The lights can generally be enjoyed through New Year's Eve. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane from all of us here at LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybeat.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.